Hello everyone, my name is Juan Lopez and I'm here to present Tracy Morgan versus Wal Mart. We're going to start with starting with the claim. The lawsuit was filed at the U.S. District Court on behalf of Morgan, plaintiff, claimed that Wal Mart, the defendant, was negligent when one of his tractor trailers hit the limousine that Mr. Morgan and a couple of his buddies were traveling on their way back to New York. Along the affected was comedians Jimmy McNair, Adley Fakua, and Jeffrey Malaya, an assistant to Morgan. Comedian Jimmy McNair was actually pronounced deceased at the scene. Mr. Morgan suffered a broken leg, a broken nose, several broken ribs, traumatic brain injury, and of course mental trauma due to the near-death experience. The initial defense that Wal Mart attorney was claiming was that because the passengers of the limousine were not wearing their seatbelts, therefore the injuries that they sustained were not a direct cause of the crash. Later on, though, in September 2014, a statement was issued saying that the retail giant called the accident a terrible tragedy, and it said that it was cooperating fully in the investigation. How is the case applied? The case is applied to Chapter 6 in our book, Elements of Torts. Tort is a breach of duty owed to another that causes harm. In this case, the defendant Wal Mart, the enterprise Inc., the retail chain, was negligent and not supervising their drivers. The report found that the driver of the tractor trailer at the time was awake for a 20-hour period with minimal sleep, and of course was speeding, and it just happened to hit the limousine where Mr. Morgan was traveling. This is a perfect example of a negligence tort. Wal Mart definitely broke his duty to prevent harms to others by not regulating or knowing about the sleep-deprived drivers. And of course, I think this is going to go ahead and eventually lead to changes within the company as well of how to keep track of the hours of sleep that the drivers are getting. A curious thing that I found about this case is that the settlement was actually kept confidential due to the interest of both parties. So they said, we do not know the exact amounts of compensation that Mr. Morgan will or has received from Wal Mart. It just so happens that it's very convenient for both parties not to disclose this information. Which it actually brings up another good point, because now, actually just last year, Tracy Morgan was summoned by the IRS for not doing some proper tax work for the compensation money that he received from such lawsuit, which I find that kind of ironic. But this is just a page of references. I wanted just to go ahead and show you guys a video. I'm not sure if it's going to go ahead and be visible to the best of quality, but it's just kind of basic review of what the case was. Oh, here we go.
It was a horrific crash. A luxury limo bus carrying comedian actor Tracy Morgan and 6 others flipped on its side, slammed by a Wal Mart tractor trailer, a multi-vehicle pileup on the New Jersey Turnpike. Seen here in April, Morgan suffered a severe brain injury, broken nose, leg, and ribs, still recovering. Terms of the settlement remain confidential, but in a statement, the former Saturday Night Live star said, "Wal Mart did right by me and my family. I am grateful the case was resolved amicably." The giant retailer said, "Our thoughts continue to go out to everyone that was involved in the accident." Wal Mart already had settled with the family of James McNair, the man killed in the crash. His children reportedly receiving $10 million.
So I just want to pause there real quick, because why is it that because of the interest of the parties, well, we had a slight cut to the, my battery just died, so I had to recharge it. However, I paused on the $10 million settlement that Mr. McNair's already adult sons received. It's a $10 million settlement for their part, or in other words, it's about $3,000 a month for the rest of their lives, plus other commissions and whatnot that Wal Mart has to pay. But it seems interesting that the deceased party's settlement was disclosed, and yet Mr. Morgan was not disclosing his settlement money or reward that he received from Wal Mart. So I think this is why the issue with the IRS kind of came around, but that's another case. I'm gonna go ahead and continue the video.
The limo driver said the truck hit without warning.
It was unreal. I mean, I didn't know what happened.
Morgan and his companions were returning home after a performance. The truck driver, Kevin Roper, accused of driving some 20 miles per hour too fast and with too little sleep, has pled not guilty to charges that include death by auto. Ron Allen, NBC News, New York.
So that kind of sums up my my case, and yeah, again, it's just chapter 6, elements of torts, based on negligence. I did not go much about the responses for negligence or torts, since this one is a pretty much a given that Mr. Morgan was going to go ahead and win such a settlement. But well, thank you. I hope you guys enjoy the presentation. So yeah, and here we go. That's it right here.